Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Welcome to Chats and Recaps Haunted Edition. Happy Friday.
And today we're going to be talking about the St. Augustine Lighthouse, which is located in one of the oldest cities. St. Augustine was established in 1565, which makes the city 455 years old. So it's a very old city, and we all know that old cities with lots of history tend to be some of the most haunted locations. Which may be why St. Augustine is home to a lot of haunted locations.
Yes, it is.
And we're going to give a little bit on the history of the lighthouse. The first documentation that shows record of a watchtower was in 1589. In 1737, the Spanish replaced the earlier construction with a new 30-foot watchtower made of coquina, shell rock, and wood, which was apparently 500 yards from where the original watchtower was located. So the reason that the lighthouse was so important is that it was in use during a time when Spain and Great Britain were often at war. So the lighthouse served as a guiding light for ships to come into shore, and it actually played a very critical role in a lot of things that happened in the earlier shapings of the city. In 1871, it became evident that the St. Augustine Lighthouse Tower was doomed to fall into the ocean. So U.S. Congress appropriated $100,000 funding a new lighthouse during the Florida Reconstruction period. The U.S. Lighthouse Service began construction on a new 165-foot tower in 1871, and it did not finish until 1874. On October 15, 1874, lighthouse keeper William R. Russell lit the oil lamp inside the new first-order Fresnel lens for the first time. The lens is 9 feet tall, and Russell would have had to climb inside it to light the lamps. So it sounds a little dangerous already. A coastal lookout building was constructed at the St. Augustine Light Station in late 1941 and early 1942 after Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941. In 1980, a suspicious fire gutted the vacated keeper's house, which had been declared excess by the government. St. Johns County was about to purchase the property, and condominiums were discussed as one possibility for best use of the land. The site... What?
Condominiums.
Yeah, it was
You said condominiums?
Oh, condominiums. As bulldozers threatened, in stepped the Junior Service League with a will to restore the property and open a maritime museum. The site was added to the National Register of Historic Places. A maritime museum opened full-time in early 1994, what is today the St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum Incorporated, separately incorporated from the League in 1998. The following year, a second not-for-profit St. Augustine Lighthouse Archaeological Maritime Program was formed to help museums study shipwrecks and coastal resources. The current lighthouse tower will turn 146 years old in October 2020. It is part of an aid to navigation system here supporting military defense, travel, trade, fishing, boat building, and pleasure boating since the 16th century. So that was a little brief history overall of the lighthouse and how it came to be today and how it stands. Which is interesting because when you look at a lighthouse, you don't necessarily think about all the history that is behind it, but it's crazy because it really was a big part of history. A lot of trade, an important area in war.
And then it became a place not just to go and see as part of history, but it also became a place of most haunted places.
Of course. It's very old, so a lot has happened over the years. Lots and lots and lots has happened. And so naturally, it is regarded as a very haunted location.
Yep. And a couple of spirits that haunt there are one that are called the Pitty Girls. Superintendent of Lighthouse Construction, Hezekiah Pitty, moved from Cape Elizabeth, Maine with his family to oversee construction of the new St. Augustine Lighthouse. Hezekiah lived on site with his wife, Mary, and their children. Mary, Adelaide, Eliza, Edward, and Carrie. Just as Child would do, the Pitty children turned the construction site into a playground, inviting the children of the workers into their fun. By 1873, only the foundation and 42 feet of a 165-foot tower were completed. A railway cart moved the supplies from supply ships docked at Salt Run to the building site. Riding the cart down to the water was a favorite pastime of the Pitty children. They used the cart as a Victorian-era roller coaster, riding the cart to the water and bringing it back up the site to ride again. Only a wooden board at the end of the rail stopped the cart from tipping over into the water. Okay, today that would be like the most dangerous thing for your child to do. It's like, whoa, no.
Well, kids used to do all kinds of dangerous stuff back in the day.
Telling?
That's why there would be all these crazy deaths.
Mm-hmm. On July 10, 1873, the three Pitty sisters, Mary 15, Eliza 13, and Carrie 4, along with an unknown African-American girl 10, whose father may have worked on the site, were riding in the cart as normal. Now, how do they know that she's 10? You know, because she's the unknown little African girl. So how do they know she's African? How do they know she's African-American and 10 and not have a name? Doesn't make any sense. Her father may have worked on the site. They were riding in the cart as normal, and the wooden board that stopped the cart from going into the water was not in place. The cart carrying the girls flipped into the water, trapping the girls underneath. Mr. Dan Sessions, a young African-American worker, witnessed the tragic event and raced to the water. When he reached the cart, using all his strength, he lifted it from atop the girls. By this time, 3 of the 4 girls had drowned. The only survivor was the youngest, Carrie. In the days after the accident, the construction site as well as the town shut down for the funeral of the girls. Following the funeral, the Pitty family returned to Maine to lay their daughters to rest in their hometown. Staff researchers have not yet been able to find the final resting place of the young African-American girl. That's so sad.
That's very sad.
In the 145 years since the accident, strange occurrences have been repeatedly attributed to the spirits of the girls. Now, one story involves a relief lighthouse keeper living in the home in the 1950s who reported hearing footsteps upstairs. He went to investigate, but no one was up there. The head keeper at the time was James Pippin. He served from 1953 to 1955 and was the last keeper to live at the light station. Pippin initially lived in the keeper's house as all the previous keepers had done. But he moved to the much smaller 1941 coastal lookout building, swearing that the big house was haunted and he would not stay another night in it. Yeah, I wouldn't stay in it either.
In 1955, the lighthouse lamp was fully automated and the United States Coast Guard replaced lighthouse keepers with a position called lamplighter. The local lamplighter had all the duties of a lightkeeper but did not live on site. As a result, the keeper's house was rented for a time. A local man who crafted leather goods rented the property during the 1960s. He tells the story of waking up one night with a small girl standing by his bed. As he blinked his eyes to look at her, she disappeared. That's
Creepy.
Disturbing. During the renovation, both construction workers and the JSL volunteers reported numerous unexplained incidents in the home. The basement was a particularly active area for ghostly encounters, being the only part of the home that had not completely burned. Perhaps the children liked to play here. Today, you can still feel a spooky presence there. While the girls are by no means the only tragedy that occurred in the home, the girls are some of the most active spirits around. As playful spirits, the girls enjoy playing hide and seek, sometimes including unsuspecting people. One night in the dark lighthouse tower, a lone staff member was closing up for the night. He heard giggling at the top of the tower. Thinking that he had left someone on top of the tower, he returned to the top to find it empty. As he began to head back down the tower, he heard the same giggles below him. Descending the bottom, he once again found no one there. Was it just the wind, or was he in the midst of a game of hide and seek?
Hide and seek, my friend. Another evening, a female guest on a Dark of the Moon tour, which is one of the tours that we took, was standing on the first step of the metal lighthouse staircase. When she took her first step to climb the tower, she found her shoelace tied to the staircase. Whether it was a ghost or her companion playing a trick, no one can say. Now, a lot of people do say that their shoes get tied or untied, whether they're in the house while they're listening or where they're taking the tours.
Right.
If they're just standing in one place for a while. The girls sometimes appear to people in fully formed apparitions. Apparitions. Several years ago, during the day, a guest was exploring the maritime hammock trails and came upon a young girl in a Victorian outfit sitting on a bench, reading a book. As she began to ask the girl a question, another group came up from the opposite direction. Distracted by the group, the woman looked away for only a moment and turned back to find the little girl on the bench gone. Spooky. In a similar instance, a woman on a ghost tour approached another woman to compliment her daughter's behavior on the tour. Confused, the woman said she had no daughter. The other woman then told her that a little girl had been standing by her most of the evening. There were no children on that tour.
That would be so weird. Imagine being told that. Like, oh my gosh, you have like the most well-behaving child I've ever seen. And then they look at you like, what child?
Seriously, like, what are you talking about?
And then you'll be like, the one that's been standing next to you the whole tour. And then they're just like,
there was no
what the
kids.
hell?
No kids on that tour at all.
That is so creepy. I feel like it's more so creepy for the person who's told that the girl was standing next to her the whole time. I feel like it's more creepy. The person seeing it. I think it's more creepy to be the person who has the kid next to you the whole time without knowing than to be the person who sees it.
It's like,
because I would be like, what are you talking about?
What kid? Standing, and then you're like, man, I gotta compliment this person because that little girl, like,
she is really behaving.
Stood next to her the whole entire time.
That is so weird. Who randomly goes up to people to compliment their children's behavior?
No, I do.
Is that a common thing? Oh, your child is so well behaved.
Well, when you're a parent, and some parents have kids that they just don't sit still.
They're like,
and they're constantly like, come here, stand next to me. Don't move away. There's too many people. Can you please hold my hand? Can you please? And when you see a parent whose child is like standing right next to them, doesn't tell them anything, doesn't say stay with me, doesn't say hold my hand, like nothing. This child is just so close to her, like, so yeah, you gotta compliment.
And then you're like, what the heck?
Like, what are you doing that I can't get my kid to do?
Why was the kid so close to her the whole time?
Mommy?
She just liked her.
Maybe she reminded her of her mama.
She's like, oh, you remind me of mom. That's weird.
That's sad.
Yeah, I guess.
That is so sad.
On to the lighthouse ghosts. One of the lighthouse's first keepers was a man named Peter Rasmussen. He was known for his meticulous eye and watchful manner of maintaining the lighthouse. He was also known for his love of cigars and is one of the first ghosts that people report coming in contact with. Over the years, the smell of Peter's cigar has been detected by many, including staff members and guests. Either that or some sneaky person is sneaking a smoke and everybody just thinks it's a ghost. Imagine you're on a ghost tour and somebody sneaks away from the crowd. They start smoking like a cigar or something like that. And then everybody's like,
the ghost is doing it.
Right, everybody's like, do you smell that? Oh my gosh, it smells like a cigar. It must be the ghost. And then the other person's over here like smoking their cigar like, oh, like,
what are
awkward. They talking about? And then they go walk back and be like, yeah, ghost. Totally a ghost.
Totally.
Others have seen and heard another keeper, Joseph Andrew, at the top of the tower, only he's been dead for more than a century. His presence at the lighthouse could be explained by the fact that he fell to his death while painting the outside of the tower. His spirit never left and is often seen looking out from the top. And whether you believe this destination is haunted or not, whether you've been there, whether you plan to visit there, it must have enough of a reputation because it was nominated as Best Haunted Destination for 2019 by USA Today's 10 Best website.
Well, when we went to visit, I had encounters. I had two in the lighthouse, in the room where they logged all the information about the White House.
The lighthouse? You keep calling it the White House.
The lighthouse. I don't know why I keep calling it the White House. Yeah,
it's not the White House. It's the lighthouse.
The lighthouse. I saw a lady standing in the corner. She was like happy that everybody was there. And she was dressed all in black. Like this long black gown or dress. She was all in black. And then across where they kept the oil barrels, the lard barrels actually, to keep the lamp lit. I saw a man, like an older man, wearing like a jumpsuit, like a denim jumpsuit type thing. So that was my experience in the lighthouse. And then out in the courtyard in between the lighthouse and the house where the lighthouse keepers lived with their families, in the courtyard, I heard like children playing and giggling and laughing. And then in the house, in one of the rooms, I heard someone coughing and like a heavy breathing, like trouble breathing. And then that was my experience.
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, I do recall them saying that people do hear coughing and stuff in there. And it is because somebody passed from a sickness.
Yeah. And
that
then I
would
felt
have
like,
caused breathing
I felt like,
issues.
I don't know if you remember when I was like, I feel like tightness in my chest and I can't hardly breathe. So those were my experience. What were yours?
So I didn't really have any experiences. The only thing I had was when I was at the top of the lighthouse on the deck at the very top, I kept feeling this sensation of like falling over, like falling off of the lighthouse.
Which, by the way, the lighthouse has 219 steps.
Oh, yes. The lighthouse has 219 steps, which is a lot.
It is. But what's good about it is like every couple of flights, they do have somewhere where you can sit and take a breather. Or just stand. It's like little passageway type thing. Not huge, but
yeah, like a tiny sitting
enough
area.
to be out of someone's way for them to keep going up the stairs while you take a breather. So I kind of like that because I took a couple of breathers. And then when you complete from going all the way to the top to coming back down, you get a certificate.
Yes, you get a certificate that says you conquered all 219 steps of the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
And let me tell you, that is a conqueror.
Yes, it was great.
That is not a joke. But the view
I didn't think it was that
awesome.
bad.
The view was beautiful.
Yeah, we did it at nighttime, so it was a very nice view, you know, seeing the lights from the city and all that. So you're pretty high up there. If you're afraid of heights, don't recommend.
Yeah, that's true. Because your father, he doesn't like heights, and he was like up against the wall like the whole time, and he's like, I'm not going out there.
That pretty
I'm
much.
not going out there, and I'm like, you're gonna be fine. He's like, I'm not. He stood at the doorway, and then he just looked out and holding on to the doorway like if he was gonna go flying off the tower.
Yeah, if he walks out there, the wind's just gonna blow him off of the thing.
I don't have issues with heights, but
it was great.
I walked outside until I saw like a roach.
And then you were like,
up
goodbye.
On the tower, and then I said, oh, it's time to go back in.
Time to get out of here.
Time to go back down them stairs.
Yeah. There was a story that was told by one of the workers there. And their story was that as workers there, sometimes they would walk to the top of the lighthouse and make sure that the door is locked and everything like that. Make sure pretty much that everything is secured. And there is like a system that tells you if the door is open or not.
Oh, yeah.
And so they have to go up to the top, check the door and everything, come down to the bottom. Sometimes they'll get a thing telling them the door is open, and they got to go up and check it, make sure that it's closed, reclose it, go back downstairs. And then they say sometimes they would even like go there in the morning or whatever, and the door is just open.
Yeah.
At the top of the light. Mind you that there's also a door in the front to get into the lighthouse that's locked.
Yep.
So it's like, how does somebody unlock the door at the top, but the bottom door is not opened or anything like that?
And let me tell you, can you imagine having to keep going up and down the stairs?
I know. I would be like, really? Come on.
219?
My favorite video is, there's a video where BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural, where they went in and they did the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Yeah.
And they took a spirit box in there, and one of the guys was doing the spirit box, and he was walking up the stairs, and he's like talking and like seeing if anybody's there, and he was getting a response back, like straight responses to him. And then he started freaking out because I think they answered one of his questions. They started freaking out, and then he started running down the stairs, and then the spirit came over the spirit box and was like, why are you leaving? And he was like, why am I leaving? Because I'm freaking scared. And it was hilarious.
I do get the feeling though that they like it when people are there,
like the attention.
Yeah, I think they like that attention. They like the energy of the people there because
feed the energy.
I think that's what it is. I think because people are there to try to experience those encounters, whether you're there just to explore or if you don't believe, if you believe, I mean, you're there to to get the history in. You're there for the views of the tower. You're there to conquer those 219 steps. But you're there too to see if you see something.
Yeah.
You know? And I think they like that. They love that energy when the people go there, that the people are enjoying the steps. They're enjoying the tower. They're enjoying with their families. They get to feel your excitement.
Well,
and I think they like that.
In a way, think about it. Like, what if you were there and you passed away and you were haunting the lighthouse or whatever, and people are going around telling stories about you? You're not going to stand there like, yep, they're talking about me.
They're talking about me.
That's me.
Can you see me? I'm right here.
You see me? Yeah. Don't forget to take pictures. Smile for my close-up.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure the same way there's people who love attention in the living world.
But I do remember... And they do have those boxes that you can rent from them.
So they're EMF readers.
Yeah, if you can rent one. We didn't rent one, but there was another person there who did have one. And I was saying that there was this lady standing there.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the guests were like, where? I have an EMF box.
Uh-huh.
And then when she put it, it read.
Yeah, it was lighting
that
up.
There was energy there.
Yeah, it was
and
like lighting up like crazy. Oh my gosh,
I wish I could see you. Can I see you?
Right.
I'm like, I could see her. And she's just standing there smiling. So when I encountered the feelings and the spirits there, I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel like angry or scared. It was a good energy.
Just peaceful.
It was peaceful. Even when we were at the top of the lighthouse, it was so peaceful up there. I wish I could have stood up there.
Yeah, it's a nice view for sure.
Well,
I mean, of all the places that you can go to that's haunted, at least this, like, you get two things. You get the haunted, like, supernatural stories and everything. So you'll get that part. You'll get a little bit of the history, like you said. And then, you know, also everything is just pretty.
It's gorgeous.
I love looking at old styles of homes and stuff like that. I love looking at the architecture and enjoying like stuff like the older like antique things like that. And then the lighthouse itself is beautiful. And then when you go up there again, you know, obviously the view. So it's like, if anything, if you don't experience anything supernatural, at least you will have experienced the amazing view. And again, you can afterwards say that you walked 219 steps to the top of a 145-foot lighthouse.
Seriously.
So that was pretty cool. I would do it again.
I would do it again in a heartbeat.
What I would like to do like what the BuzzFeed Unsolved people do, where they get to go places by themselves. I would love to
just experience it.
Yeah, be there by yourself, have like a spirit box and everything, and see like if you can pick up anything or get any conversations or stuff like that. Catch anything on film. You know, good stuff.
Yeah.
It could come out with some stories of your own.
Well, St. Augustine is one of my favorite cities. So, I mean, it's full of a lot of culture. It's full of all the architect. You could just park your car and walk the streets. Just a beautiful place to be.
Yes.
Other than that, it is reported that the little girls that haunt the lighthouse I think they haunt more the house and the courtyard than the lighthouse itself. They love playing hide and seek.
I would assume that they would haunt the places they're more familiar with. So, I mean, they probably weren't allowed to just be running up and amok up and down the lighthouse. So,
yeah. So I think, I mean, people have heard.
I would like to go to the site where that mine cart was.
I know, right?
Wherever like that mine cart was running along the property. I wonder if it's possible to go to maybe like the area where the incident happened. Maybe you could get some energy there.
Yeah. I know that you can go out into like the camp area.
Right. They told us that we could do it that night, and they were like, well, if you're they're like, if you're really feeling up to it, you can walk around like in that wood area a little bit, and it's literally just pitch black, dark woods. And some people were going in there with their meters, with their
glow sticks.
Yeah, with their glow sticks and meters.
They do give you a glow stick. They do, because the lighthouse is dark inside, so you need a glow stick as you're walking up them stairs. And let me tell you, it's very, very hot when you're walking up the stairs in the lighthouse. The lighthouse is not AC'd or there's no windows. It's hot going up there.
There's no AC back in those times.
There's no kind of ventilation in there. So once you start going up the stairs, there's no ventilation.
Yeah.
It was so hot when they had us all in there. And there was like some of us standing on the steps, some of us surrounding while they told us the history
we went there in the thick of summer because your birthday is literally in summer. Exactly. So it was very hot.
It was hot.
Thank goodness it was at night because it being nighttime helped it be a little more cool. But you imagine being in there with like the sun beating and like the heat just building in there.
Yeah, because they were like, they came in with those little lanterns.
Right.
And then they was telling us the story. And then they said that we can walk up. So we had the glow sticks guiding our way. Some people use their phones for the cell phone. They did tell us, though, when you're walking up the stairs, if you look over the stairs down or if you look up to the lighthouse, like somewhere in the middle, if you take a picture or if you look up or something or look down, you'll see a spirit or something.
I think
I'm trying to remember.
So it's like landing, I want to say it's landing 4 or something like that, like the 3rd or 4th landing
somewhere
on the way up
there
is commonly a location where they catch a ghost on photos. Yeah. So they said, like, if you go to floor 5, take a photo looking down, or if you're in the flight below, take a photo looking up. And sometimes you'll catch a ghost because the ghost likes to peer over the railing.
Yes, that's what they said. I think we did that.
But all pictures have to be taken flash or else you don't pick anything up. Yeah. We did take the photo exactly where they told us to take it, above and below, and we didn't get anything personally.
No, we didn't catch anything.
Yeah, but again, when we were going like up and down the stairs and everything, I didn't like feel there was any type of anything.
I didn't feel anything either.
Yeah.
I just felt like I can't wait to finish 219 steps and get up to the top because it was
the only thing I was feeling was tired.
I mean, especially we walked a lot through St. Augustine because we did a lot of places in there before we went to the lighthouse, which was in the evening, and we were tired. And then on top of that, we walked those stairs and then we were tired. When we got home, we showered and we were out for the night. Then we did it again the next day.
It was a good time. Also, I found out recently that they do this other thing called something sunset.
Dark of the Moon.
Oh, Dark of the Moon. It's this experience you can do for $25. They do it once a month, and you get to see the sunset and the moon rise from the top of the
tower.
Yeah, from the top of the light. I was going to say white. You got me wanting to say White House.
The lighthouse.
From the top.
The lighthouse.
Yeah, you get to see the sunset and the moon rise from the top of the lighthouse. And they also give you complimentary champagne and hors d'oeuvres.
Yes, they do.
And you get that whole experience. And do they give you the haunted tour too?
Yeah, is because it's the Dark of the Moon.
Oh, so it's the perfect.
So you're like you're getting the tour and then you're going up.
Only.
It's like at 7. But
whenever sunset, I would assume.
But if it's in October, the sunset's different. So it should be earlier.
The sun usually sets earlier. So maybe like 6 or 7-ish would be the best time to see the sun setting, moon coming up.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. You have to be like very precise because the sunset is literally within like 30 minutes and then it's gone and then it's nighttime. So you only have like a small window of which to catch sunset and the moonrise.
But I will tell you this, if you do the Dark of the Moon tour, it's very dark.
Yes.
There's no light. The only light is going to be the glow sticks that they give you and the lanterns that the tour guides carry.
Oh yes, everything has to be in the dark.
But it's all in the dark.
Yeah, like when you go into the houses and stuff, they don't turn on the lights or anything. You literally go in there in the darkness.
I don't even think there is light. I'm trying to remember.
I'm not sure. There might not be. Probably not. That's probably why they give you the glow sticks and they don't turn on lights. I know
the only light that we had in the house and in the lighthouse was the glow sticks. Yeah, the glow sticks. Everybody standing around lit up the place with glow sticks.
Yeah, get glow sticks or a lantern.
Or use your light on the phone.
Yeah, but it's also better that way because, Yeah,
you get the full
all
effect.
Scary stories are better in the dark.
Yeah. You get the full effect.
Now, when you do the tour of the keeper's house and you go down into the basement, when you first get down to the basement, there's a little corner where they say that people say they feel like somebody's standing there or staring at them or something. We stood in the corner. We didn't feel anything there. Mm-mm. And then you walk through a little corridor into the second part of the basement. In the second part of the basement, there's a chair. And they say that there's a spirit in that room that likes to touch women.
And you can sit on the chair.
Yeah, they say it's like a guy who likes to who's like
Who
touchy
likes
with women.
to rub the women's legs.
Yeah, and then
the hair.
they said he's a leg and a long hair. He
Yes.
likes long,
He loves
dark hair,
long,
and he likes
hair
legs.
and legs.
And then they said there's a specific chair. I guess that's like his chair. And so they say that if you sit on the chair, then he'll like try to push you off the chair or anything like that. So they asked anybody if they wanted to sit on the chair. Obviously, someone offered to sit on the chair and, you know, kind of like challenge the spirit, like, hey, take me off this chair.
I know.
Nothing happened, unfortunately. No. I would love to sit here and say that he got flung across the room.
I know,
that
right?
would be like the best experience ever.
Well, I was actually hoping that he would.
I know. I was like, please knock him off the chair. So please knock him off the chair.
I know, right? I was like, come on, give us that experience, please.
Come on.
But once the tour guide finishes, because they do that little tour, they talk about that room,
right.
They talk about the spirit that's always in there and that's been seen. Then they ask someone to sit. After that, they're like, anyone else who wants to sit before you walk out can, you know, sit. I think we did. Yeah, I sat for a little bit. Nothing happened.
Of course we did, because we're just like that.
Yeah.
I swear. Take us to anything haunted and like challenge us to do something where it'd be like, perfect. I know. Where can what do you want me to sit? Who do you want me to challenge?
Yeah. So each of us sat on the chair and waited and asked, hey, you know, take us off the chair.
Yeah.
Ask us to get off. But nothing happened.
Unfortunately.
Then you walk out the door because you can't go back up. You have to like walk back out. And then when we walked out, it's like a little alleyway through the back. And then you go right back to the front. And then you're just standing around, walking around. If you want to walk up the tower again, because you're like there for that entire time.
Right.
So if you want to walk up the tower again, you can walk up. They close it at what, like 10, I think? I believe like it was around 10 o'clock. Late. They started to close everything down. And then, you know, everybody started going.
Yeah, but you get a good amount of time. You're not rushed by any means.
You
and you
are
get
not
plenty
rushed.
of time.
Especially when you're doing the tower. You're not rushed at all.
Oh, no.
I mean, at first when they're doing it, they're kind of like pushing you through because there's two groups. But after
and because they have a storytelling section, so they want to make sure everybody gets the same experience with the story. And then after you hear the stories, then you can
But after everything is done and both groups are done, because they're like, okay, the group is done. Please be mindful, you know, like let them enjoy their time getting to know the stories. And then after everybody's done, it's like free.
Yeah, free roaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is my favorite part. I like to be able to
you can
just
go
walk
in and
around
out the house. You can go
look at things.
You can, if you got a spirit box, you can use it. Because they're like, if you have your own EMF, you can use it. If you have your spirit box, you can use it. There were some people that came like equipped with some things.
Yeah.
So when the tour was over, they had like their little time to go back to the tower, go back into the home.
One thing though, I will say, I didn't really like the keeper's house at all. I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't know.
Didn't like the
something
basement.
about like the overall energy of the house, period, I didn't really like at all. It just felt like, I don't know, maybe it's the fire and everything that happened in there, considering it's really the only part of the property that has experienced a significant trauma to the overall building and everything like that. And, you know, people being sick in there and dying and everything. I don't know. It's just like the house. I didn't like the energy of the house, especially the basement. I really, really, really hated the basement.
I hate any basements.
I hate basements too. But
I hate basements, period.
That one in particular, for me, the second part of the basement, I didn't mind too much. The first part of the basement,
it was
with
creepy.
The spiral staircase, I really hated that part for some reason.
I was like, can we just get out of here?
For like that spiral staircase, because it's like the weirdest way to get down to a basement. They have this like metal spiral staircase that leads you down to the basement with a small, tight basement that has uneven flooring. So I don't like that either.
But mind you, if you do need like special assistance or if you're in a wheelchair or whatever, they do have another way to get into the basement.
It's ADA accessible.
Yes, so it is AA accessible.
Yeah, so you don't have to miss out.
Exactly.
The thing about the staircase, though, is, I don't know, it was the staircase and the first part of the basement in particular that disturbed me. But it was like, I don't know, I felt like when I was in the basement, I felt like if someone was going up and down the staircase, like if someone's upstairs looking down at me, and then when I was upstairs, I felt like the same thing. If someone's coming up and down the stairs and then someone's at the bottom of the stairs looking up at me, like whichever side I was on, I felt like someone's moving up and down it. And like if I was down there, they were up there, and if I was downstairs, they were upstairs. Or I felt like when I was walking down the stairs, if I had to like move out the way because someone was gonna like walk past me, I feel like a lot of activity up and down the staircase.
Well,
Or maybe like a remnant of an energy of a constant movement.
they have said that the little girls like to play up and down those steps.
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Somebody,
I feel like if I was going down the staircase, like someone's going to brush past me going up, or like just a lot of like in that particular staircase, a lot of up and down movement.
Yeah,
or like someone at the top peeping down, or someone at the bottom peeping up.
Yeah, one of the guests, because they tell us too, you know, if you want to play hide and seek with the girls, ask them. And if you have one of those EMF readers or spirit box, they get answers. So one of the guests did say, hey, do you want to play hide and seek? And it was on those stairs, upstairs and downstairs. And she said they said the EMF meter went off. So then she went down the stairs and she's looking. And then like right under the stairs, it went off. So she found them. She's like, I found you. And then she was like, do you want to play hide and seek again? And then the meter went off again. And then the next time she found them, where in that little corner where they had the little table and the two little chairs like for kids.
Yeah.
Then it would go off on that section. So they love playing hide and seek.
I don't know. Maybe that's
Which was a game that was played. I mean, they didn't have really a lot of toys. They didn't have toys and stuff like that.
I played hide and seek a lot as a kid too.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that was it. I don't know. It was after the initial part of the tour when we were all just like free for alling, just like walking around everywhere. I went back into the house and it was pretty empty. And like it was me and Alvy were walking through and kind of like looking at stuff. And then that's when it got creepy for me.
I think after
and then that's when
that's
when I didn't like the stairs. I was like, ugh, I don't like the stairs.
After everything
it feels
is
like
done,
all this. I feel all this like back and forth energy, like up and down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs. I feel like if I was walking on the stairs, like somebody's going to brush me coming up, or I'm going to brush somebody coming down.
Probably the girls. They like running up and down the stairs. They play a lot in the house and they play a lot in the court.
Oh, it creeps me out.
But that's what I like about after the tours are done, that you get that free roam. You can actually ask the little girls, do you want to play hide and seek? You can get like more energy contact, I think.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I say I would prefer to do tours small, like just us. If we could do private tours, that would be the most ideal situation. Because I feel like when you go into these paranormal things and you're doing it in large groups of people, that everybody's energy in one room can really throw things off.
Yes, it can.
I feel like too much energy in one room can deter a spirit from being there, especially one that's more shy or doesn't really like people. You're not going to probably get any interaction than you would if you were by yourself.
That's true. That's really true.
Or sometimes how do you know that your EMF meter isn't interacting with something that somebody else has,
I mean, it's true.
Unless
but if
you're
nobody
alone.
else is standing, if you're there by yourself. I mean,
if you're alone, then it's like, well, obviously something.
Yeah, the guest did say after the tour, she went back into the house and that's when she was asking. So after the tour is done, it's like less people.
Yeah.
Everybody's more outside walking around
and so then
everything.
She got
so that
reading.
gives you a chance to go back in. And then you can get that little one-on-one time alone. And that's what they did. They went back in and then they was asking the little girls if they wanted to play hide and seek.
And that's when they got that activity. Yeah. Makes sense.
The next time that I do go, I want to have a spirit box.
Yeah, me too.
And an EMF
reader.
I like EME.
An EMF reader, yeah.
An EMF reader. So,
get the full ghost hunting equipment.
If you
turn into a Ghostbuster,
a skeptic, or if you're not, go check it out for yourself. I mean, you might get an experience and you might not. Tell us if it's haunted.
Yeah, and either way, it's super cheap. It's cheaper than a lot of other things.
Yeah, I mean, and you get that history because they do share the history of the place, and they
St. Augustine is definitely one city with a lot of history. That's for sure.
It is. I mean, I've always wanted to go there, and going there on my birthday was like the best birthday ever.
Yeah,
we spent 2 days there. We didn't sleep there, but we spent 2 days there. Well, they didn't have
waking
any
up
hotels.
Really early. Well, they do. They have.
But they didn't have
St. Augustine
of,
also has haunted hotels too.
They do.
So maybe one day we could stay at a haunted hotel.
Yeah,
perhaps. I think that we're taking that trip to Georgia, right? And then we're gonna to Tennessee, and then
I was
we're
gonna say Georgia.
Well, to Tennessee, and then also Savannah, and I think that hotel is haunted. So
where
maybe
you're staying?
Yeah. So maybe we'll have an experience. Cool. I might have an experience there. Who knows?
So some of the little places we loved in St. Augustine that you should visit if you go. One is San Sebastian Winery. They have the best wines ever and free tasting.
Yes, they literally do have the best wines.
They do.
Ever.
I bought like
so good
4 bottles.
And we're winos.
Yeah, we are winos. Only if it's good wine.
Yeah.
Because I'm very picky about wine.
Oh, and for me, a good wine is something that is like sweet, but not too sweet. Not too dry, fruity. So something pretty, that has I like Moscatos, but like the sweeter Moscatos
and the aromas and the smoothness. And
I can't think of like a good wine.
I can't even compare.
Well, we love sangria, so think like sangria-ish, where sangria is fruity.
Sangria, but theirs was like a sangria with a touch of sourness.
Well, they have different flavors of wine. So they had the one that was sour. It was like it was a green apple, like Jolly Rancher inspired wine. Good. It was really good. Very, very nice.
Yes. But they were,
and then they
had
so good. Something that was like a cherry one or something, or like a strawberry one. Or they had like a bunch of different ones. They let
you taste them all before you buy.
Yeah. So you can literally just ask them whatever wine. And I don't know if they're still doing that with everything going on. If they still do the tastings, they might not. I mean, they use disposable cups either way. So
yeah, she was using disposables.
You might still be able to do wine tastings, but yeah,
I know
either way,
that,
no matter what wine you get, you won't be disappointed.
Mm-mm.
We didn't try a single one that I didn't like.
Nope, sure didn't. At that time, they were like $18 a bottle. This was in 2017, 2018?
2018, 2 years ago. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's been 2 years. We gotta go back.
Time flies, man.
We gotta go back.
Especially with this whole quarantine crap. It's like the days go by and a day is a week and a week is a month.
Yep. Gotta go back.
Right. Last night, I was falling asleep and all of a sudden I started having an existential crisis. I started thinking about how old I am, and I was like, wait a minute. How old am I? I think I'm 26. Oh my God, I'm only 4 years away from 30. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm only 4 years away from 30. Oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life? Oh my gosh, what is going on? Oh my gosh, quarantine is taking away so much time from my life.
It is.
I started having a existential crisis when I was I'm like, really, I'm trying to go to sleep, and I'm having like an existential crisis that I'm 26 years old and I'm wondering what's going on in my life. Blame Charmed, because I mentioned this on another podcast, but with Halloween in October and everything, you think stuff like Charmed and everything, like witches and whatnot, and Charmed is going to disappear from Netflix October. It's going to be gone. So I was like watching like I think the last like 2 seasons. I rewatched Charmed like so many times over anyway. So I was like rewatching through like the last season or whatever. And then do you remember like when Phoebe was going through that crisis of she saw the future and she was going to have this little girl. Yes. And then she was like, all this stuff, like time's running out and everything. And then she had this like, when Billy put them to sleep to see like what their true desires or whatever were, and then in her vision she saw the little girl, and the little girl was like, mommy, it's gonna be too late for you to have me. I think that got into my head, and then I was thinking, oh my God, I'm getting too old. When am I ever gonna have children? And I was like, and then I started thinking, I'm like, if I have a kid now, but when the kid is 10, I'm gonna be 35, I'm gonna be starting to get old. I can't be like 45 and having a young child. Like, what is that?
Hey, some people can.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do. Then I was just like, why am I thinking about this right now? I need to go to sleep. Every once in a while, you gotta have an existential crisis.
So back on topic.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought of that.
So
moving on, gourmet popcorn.
Gerald's gourmet popcorn. Yes, if they're still there.
That's what it's
2
called.
Years ago.
No, it's still there.
It's a gourmet popcorn that tastes exactly like butterbeer.
Well, it's not.
There's different flavors.
Yeah, they have many different flavors.
Whatever flavor, and they also do taste tests. I don't know if they're still doing that.
You can do samples of like everything.
But you can say, "Can I sample that? Can I sample that?" And let me tell you, whatever the name says, it tastes exactly like it. Like exactly like it.
It does. Yeah,
if it says butterbeer, it tastes like butterbeer. If it has cotton candy, it tastes just like cotton candy. They had
Speaking
one.
of,
I think it was like lemon heads.
Yeah, it tasted
It
exactly
tasted
like
just like a lemon head.
They had they have a butterbeer gourmet popcorn that literally tastes exactly like butterbeer. I kid you not, and I know what butterbeer tastes like
Harry
because
Potter's butterbeer.
Because I've had butterbeer from the parks. I don't know how they did it, but it literally tastes exactly like
everything. And we did buy a couple of bags and brought it home with us.
It's hard for you to not pick like so many.
I mean, you just gotta buy some popcorn.
One of my favorites was the key lime pie.
That one was good. We did bring a bag of that. That was really good.
Yeah, we got the key lime pie. We got butterbeer. And
they had like bubblegum flavor.
What's something else they have? They have recreations of almost every chocolate bar.
Yes. I'm telling you.
They had a cheesecake that was so...
Yes.
And they had a strawberry cheesecake.
I'm telling you.
They were so good.
Whichever one you choose, whatever the name is on there, if it says cheesecake, it tastes exactly like a cheesecake. If it says key lime pie, it tastes exactly like a key lime pie. I don't know how they do this.
But it's amazing.
But they're really good. And when you take them home, the best place to have it is in the refrigerator.
Yeah, to keep it fresh.
And they're really
and they're good prices for gourmet
They're
popcorn.
really good prices.
And you get a lot.
I don't know what price, if it went up or not, but
they
were really good prices for the bags. And on top of that, they're very, how do you say that when you can just eat a little bit and be satisfied?
I don't know. I would just say you can eat a little bit and be satisfied.
Yeah, it's like...
they're very rich.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. They're very, very rich flavor. So you can just get... Like, we bought the bags, and those bags lasted a while.
Yeah. You really don't need a lot.
Because you really don't need a lot to eat. You can eat a little bit, and it's just like, so good.
Oh, yeah. They had a buffalo wing one. They had a buffalo wing flavor one, and we tried it, and I was like, what the hell? It literally does taste like buffalo chicken.
It did.
I was like, whoa.
I was shocked and amazed. I mean, you walk in and then it's like this whole wall full of bins of different flavor of popcorn.
Yeah.
And it's like hundreds of flavors up there.
And if you don't live in St. Augustine, the bag did say that they deliver. So if you go to
you can order it online.
If you go to Gerald's Gourmet Popcorn, you can like order it yourself and have it sent to your home. So you don't have to visit to taste this
I would just like to take a trip out there just to buy some popcorn.
I know, and some wine.
Not only that, there's the other place that did the
macarons.
The macarons.
Yeah.
Remember, they were so good. We bought a box and then we were standing out there. Each one of us, here, taste this, taste this, taste this, taste that. We were like tasting each one of them. They were so good.
Macarons.
I really don't have a lot of places that have a good macaron, but theirs was really good. Yeah. And then, of course, if you want to stop and eat tacos, Burrito Works Taco Shop, which has been on the Food Network, is famous for the UFO. The UFO burrito? Or?
The UFO, it's like a taco that is shaped like a UFO. It's like a circle. And I think it says something about like they do something and then they deep fry and then it's like in a burrito.
I don't know what they do, but that was
really good.
We all ate it.
It's really good, but also it's not like unhealthy, nasty taste. No. Like, sometimes you have something that's like really good, but you're also like, this is really unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's like really good, but also very fresh.
Yes.
So it's really good stuff.
It was like a hole in the wall.
It tasted
for
healthy.
Me. It's like one of those hole in the wall for me.
Yeah.
Original places that you won't find everywhere.
Yeah, somehow we kind of just like
go there.
Somehow we kind of just like picked it out, and then when we were in there, we saw it was we were like, oh look, they're famous for the UFO, so we had to order, of course, the UFO. I mean, if it's listed on your menu as something you're famous for, we gotta try it.
Yeah, it was good. I like the environment in there. It was a very laid back, chill out environment.
They play some good music.
They did play some heavy metal music. It was like no, it was it. It was heavy metal, and it was good. The environment is good, and if they were on the Food Network, they gotta be good.
Yeah,
they're not gonna just air anything. Would they air anything?
Would they? I like how you said it with so much confidence. Then you were like, but would they? But would they?
No, I was actually impressed.
You have to have a good reputation to make it on the Food Network. I think they've got to like it.
We had I had it with one of those Angry Orchid.
Oh yeah, you can. They have beer.
Yeah, they have
you can
beer, Angry Orchid. Too bad they didn't have margaritas because it would have gone perfect with a margarita.
Yeah.
But no, it was nice in there. It was a nice sit down.
We enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
So yeah, that concludes this episode about St. Augustine. Talked a little bit about the city. We talked about the Haunted Lighthouse destination. So our next episode is going to be another haunted episode. And next time we're going to be talking about the St. Augustine Haunted Bus Tour, which consists of multiple locations, including an apothecary and a prison. And I think that's it, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about next time. So don't forget to tune in, talking about Halloween things now that we are in the spooky times. And then next week, Friday, we will have our first episode for The Masked Singer, because their first episode will be airing next week. And we're so excited.
Yay!
Can't wait for that. So good stuff coming up. So thank you for listening. We hope that you enjoyed today's podcast and hope you're staying safe, happy, and healthy and manifesting everything you desire out of life.
Amen.